Hello everybody and welcome back again to Mass Effect. So, yeah, in the last episode we wrapped up some quests relating to the Cerberus group, and I don't seem to have any other quests that immediately relate to them. So, yeah, I hope we've seen the last of them for now. Anyway, I want to do more side quests today, and as I mentioned, I guess I want to take a look at the quest that Garrus gave me. Find Dr. Saleon. Summary says, Garrus told you about his encounter with Dr. Saleon, the geneticist. He regrets letting him escape the first time and hopes that you will be able to track him down and bring him to justice. Garrus gave the coordinates of Dr. Saleon's last known whereabouts. Head to the Herschel system in the Kepler Verge. So, yeah, let's go and see if we can find this guy for Garrus. I think I have already read all the descriptions for these planets, and now we need to find the Kepler Verge. Right, this is the one. Okay, let's have a look. Newton and Herschel. Let's travel down. Alright, here we are. And... oh! MSV Fidel. I think... Is this what we're looking for? The Fidel is a Kowloon-class modular conveyor of human design. In addition to the standard cargo bay, the hull has several biological research modules attached. Registry Private Owner Dr. R. Hart. Yeah, I think this is the guy we're looking for. So, let's board the ship. And yeah, Garrus wanted to be on the team. And I guess we can bring Wrex along. Let's go. Alright, I already see some enemies on my radar. So, let's draw our weapons. I swear these ships look all the same as well. And again, a cargo bay like a labyrinth.
Engaging target.
Okay. What is that? Test subjects? What the hell? Okay. This isn't good at all. They kinda look like Saurian creepers. Wow. Okay. Okay, let's see what we can do here. And we have more over here. Well,
that's it. Bag 'em and tag.
interesting. Yeah, let's have a look around. Okay, this place is not quite as labyrinth-like as the other one. Okay, okay, let's have a look inside here. These apparently are no real doors. Well, this is a door.
Thank you. Thank you for saving me from those things.
Commander, that's him. That's Dr. Saleon.
What? My name is Hart. Dr. Hart. Please, get me out of here.
So, are you sure, Garrus?
Are you sure it's him?
Positive. There's no escape this time, Doctor. I'd harvest your organs first, but we don't have the time.
You're crazy. He's crazy. Please, don't let him do this to me.
Well, we can just arrest him now without any further trouble. So yeah, Garrus, let's do this a proper way, okay?
We'll take him in, drop him off with the military.
But we have him. We can't let him get away. Not again.
But he's not going to get away. We can arrest him, you know? There's no need to execute him on the spot.
If he dies, we'll never know what he's been up to, or how he did it. We'll take him in, interrogate him, and he'll serve his time.
Okay. You're right. You're a very lucky Salarian. You owe the commander your life.
Oh, thank you so very much.
Oh, what are you doing?
And so he dies anyway. What was the point of that?
I didn't even shoot him. I don't know what just happened here. But, I guess I'll tell you.
You can't predict how people will act, Garrus, but you can control how you'll respond. In the end, that's what really matters.
Yeah. I don't think I ever met anyone like you, Commander. Well, I guess we're done here.
Saleon's medical equipment is stained with the blood of many species, pale blue, violet, orange, and more than a few dark red. But his work has ended here. Time to head back to the Normandy. Huh. Well. So, did we kill him anyway? Apparently we did, because he tried to escape or something. I don't know. Let's decrypt this stuff before we leave, though. There we go. More stuff for my companions. Ah, nice. Take it all. Ooh, this is a hard decryption, but I did it. Yeah, this isn't going to work. Well, in that case, I'm going to override it. Okay, there was another room in this ship. Maybe we can check this out as well. Yes, we can. But there doesn't seem to be anything inside here. Okay, well, Dr. Saleon is dead. You found Dr. Saleon and tried to arrest him, but he died trying to fight you off. Whatever experiments he was conducting are now over. Garrus seems relieved now that it's over and Dr. Saleon is no longer free to cause havoc. Okay, so apparently we killed him. Fair enough. In that case, let me head back to the Normandy, and maybe I want to go and talk to Garrus again. He may have something to say about this. Alright, Garrus, let's have a chat.
Commander, what can I do for you?
What's the matter?
Something bothering you?
It's Saren. I'm starting to wonder whether we'll ever find him. He's always one step ahead of us, and he's got those damn Geth.
And you think he'll get away?
We're getting close, Garrus. We'll find him.
I wish I had your confidence. I just can't stand the thought of him getting away with everything he's done. I know you're doing everything you can, and if anyone can catch him, it's you, but if there's anything else I can do to help, anything, just tell me what you want me to do, and I'll do it.
But you still seem worried.
I understand your concern, but we will find him. Just make sure you're ready to go when we do.
Yes, ma'am. You can count on me. Thanks for hearing me out. I appreciate it. Can I ask you something, Commander?
Of course.
What is it?
Are you worried that the Council might be protecting Saren? I mean, they were really dragging their heels before. What if we find him, bring him back to the Citadel, and they refuse to act?
Well, I mean, my opinion of the Council isn't exactly the highest, but that seems a little bit far-fetched. So what are you trying to say?
I get the feeling this isn't a question. Speak your mind, Garrus.
Well, maybe we shouldn't give them the chance, Commander. In my opinion, Saren's too dangerous to be kept alive. Too much could happen. He could escape, or the Council might let him go. If we find him, when we find him, I say we make sure we stop him permanently.
I mean, this really depends on the situation. For once, I can't believe that, you know, Saren will just let us arrest him peacefully, so I fear it's going to be very difficult to bring him in alive in the first place. But, I mean, if we have the chance to do it without great risks or difficulties, then I say we'll do it. But, yeah, it really depends on how things are going down at the end.
It'll depend on the situation. I'm not committing to anything until I've got him in my sights.
Fair enough. Either way, I'm right behind you, Commander.
Alright, yeah, but we didn't really talk about the mission we just did. So if Garrus has something new to say, maybe my other companions have as well. May as well check out, just to make sure.
Commander?
Can we talk?
Do you have a few minutes to talk? One-on-one?
I'm off duty until tomorrow. I was gonna have a small drink. Bit of a celebration. If you're interested.
What's the occasion?
What's the occasion?
It's Armistice Day, when the First Contact War ended. My family always marks it. Since I'm the only Williams aboard, I thought I'd ask you.
Well, I'm flattered, I guess.
Seems like an odd thing to celebrate. That was 26 years ago.
In our family, it's not really a celebration, more like an obligation. Don't tell me you don't know about my family. My commanders always find out. It's not in my files or something?
Well, whatever it is, apparently it is not in your files.
There's almost nothing in your files. Technical scores and a list of crap assignments.
There's a reason for the crap assignments. I'm General Williams' granddaughter, the commander of the Shanxi garrison in the war. The only human ever to surrender to an alien race.
Well, but that is hardly your fault.
Don't tell me you're blamed for that.
Not formally. Dad got passed for promotion over and over. And I think my record merits more than garrison duty on a backwater agri-colony. Takes a special kind of thick-headed to march into a job where your family's blacklisted. I did it anyway. I'm not gonna let our name go down with Arnold and Quisling. Granddad deserved better than that.
Okay, I don't know who Arnold is, but Quisling, was, I think he was Norwegian? Like, he headed the Norwegian government during Nazi occupation in World War II, and he was like, you know, a collaborator. Yeah, tell me about your grandfather.
What happened to your grandfather after the war?
He was relieved of command as soon as Shanxi was liberated. They brought him back to Earth in irons, but there was never a trial. They quietly demoted him and stuck him behind a desk. He retired a year later and spent the rest of his life working construction in the colonies. Sometimes we hear about attempts to get him exonerated in some official way. Nothing ever comes of them.
Okay, and tell me about Shanxi.
As I recall, your grandfather held out for a long time.
The Turians wrecked the orbitals in the first wave and occupied the major cities. They sat in orbit, dropping rocks on anything that moved. Granddad dispersed the troops, but when they went into the cities for supplies, the Turians would wreck a block to eliminate one fire team. Civilians were dying, his troops were starving, and he couldn't contact Alliance High Command. So he surrendered the garrison.
Well, that seems like a reasonable thing to do. I mean, what was he supposed to do? Fight until everyone is dead, especially if civilians get caught in the fire? One way or the other, it's hardly comparable to, you know, somebody like Quisling. I mean, he already was a Nazi sympathizer even before the war, and he actively worked with them, so... Yeah, and one way or the other, it's definitely not your fault.
He refused to sacrifice his men just to save face for humanity. You planning to throw yourself on a sword to save face for him?
Would it make a difference? He's gone now. Dad's gone too. And who would it impress? I'll never be good enough for the Alliance. So now you know. Gonna kick me off the ship, Skipper?
Why should I? I mean, I'm not going to blame you for what your grandfather did.
You're part of the team, Williams. I don't care what your grandfather did or didn't do.
Not to get all cheesy, but you're the first CO who's ever said that to me. Thanks, Skipper. But anyway, I've got things to do before we land. I'm sure you do too.
Well, apparently all your previous commanding officers were pretty much jerks. Yeah, how are we doing?
What's your opinion of the last mission?
Gotta admire those colonials. That's about
Okay,
the
that's
worst
just the
place
same
for a
again.
colony I've ever seen. Given the option, I'd get the hell out of Dodge.
Alright, goodbye.
Dismissed, Chief.
Ma'am,
Okay, so apparently, some of my companions do have new dialogue, so maybe I'll just make another quick trip around
What
ship.
do you want, Shepard?
I have more personal inquiries.
Why did you become a mercenary?
Lots of reasons.
Like?
Such as?
Such as, I needed to get out of our system. I needed to eat. I needed to survive.
And why did you have to leave for that?
Why not stay and help your people?
I tried to help. That's why I had to leave.
Really?
What happened?
I was betrayed. I was head of a small tribe. We were trying to restore order after the war, but the other tribes were against us. They followed Jared, one of the few warlords who survived the war with the Turians. But he was old, and so were his ideas. He wanted to continue the war. He wanted us to fight. Turians, Salarians, each other. It didn't matter who, as long as we were fighting.
And what about you?
What did you want?
I just wanted Jared to shut up, to stop his ranting. I wanted him to stop leading the tribes astray. But he couldn't understand how much things had changed. We didn't have the numbers to go to war. Even if we did, the genophage made sure we couldn't replenish our numbers fast enough. I told them all to forget about war. We needed to focus on breeding, at least for one generation. And for a while, we were getting through. Some of the tribes started coming around.
And what about Jared?
I take it the warlord didn't appreciate that.
No, he didn't. He arranged a crush with the tribes, a meeting on neutral ground. He wanted to talk. We met at the Hollows, near the graves of our ancestors. The skulls of our dead laid bare to remind us where we come from, and where we all go. It's as sacred as any Krogan place can be. Violence is forbidden.
So I guess you went there.
Sounds like a trap to me. You must have suspected as much.
I did. But when your father invites you to a crush, well, there are some laws that even we hold sacred.
He was your father?
Jared was your father?
He was. Until that day. We talked, but we didn't get anywhere. When it was clear that I wouldn't join him, he gave the signal. His men leapt from the graves of our ancestors like Krogan undead. The few that were loyal to me died quickly. I escaped with my life, but not before I sank my dagger deep into my father's chest. That is why I left, and that's why I'll never go back.
Alright, fair enough. But yeah, maybe you want to tell me more about your family, if there are any of them left.
You must have family other than your father. Don't you miss them?
You trying to make me cry, Shepard?
Yes.
I've got some unfinished business with my family, but that's all.
Well, tell me about it. I'm always interested in unfinished business.
What kind of business?
Before I left, I made an oath to my father's father. I swore to recover my family's battle armor. It was taken from him after the uprising.
Alright, tell me about it.
What's so important about this armor?
It's a relic. Useless, really. But it was worn by 5 generations of my family before the war. It's rightfully mine. Originally, it was taken by the Turian military. We weren't allowed armor or weapons after the war. Now, it's in the hands of Ton Actus, a Turian scum who collects relics from the war. He's made millions selling Krogan artifacts that were stolen from my people. He's got several bases where he stores his goods, all fortified and guarded. I just don't know which base has my family's armor.
Well, I sense a quest coming up. Yeah, I'll look for it.
Just tell me where to start looking.
I'll upload the data to your nav system. But Commander, I want to be there when you find him.
Sure. And yeah, I assume this is going to be the same again, so goodbye.
So long, Wrex.
Shepard.
Alright, so did we... Yes, we got a quest for this as well. Very nice. Alright, let me talk to Tali now.
Shepard, I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, you seem to be feeling better.
Good to see you smiling again. So to speak.
I'm sleeping much better now. I guess I'm getting used to how quiet your ship is. I still think a lot about my pilgrimage, though. I know Saren's our top priority, but with all the worlds we go to, I was hoping to find something to bring back to the flotilla.
Well, what exactly are you looking for?
What are you hoping to find?
Usually, people bring back something like a derelict ship we can use for salvage. But I need something bigger. There's a lot expected of me.
Why?
What's so special about you?
It's my father. He's the senior member of the Admiralty Board. He's one of only 5 people who can overrule the decisions of the Conclave for the good of the migrant fleet. My father is responsible for the lives of 17 million people. Our entire race is in his hands, and I'm his only child.
So you're basically royalty?
So are you some kind of heir to the Quarian throne or something?
No, it doesn't work that way. My father's position isn't hereditary. I'll probably never serve on the Admiralty Board myself. Officially, I'm just the same as any other citizen. But it doesn't work that way in practice. People have always treated me differently because of who my father is.
Tell me about it.
You must get all kinds of special privileges.
I probably had it easier than most growing up, but it's not all good. People like my father have enemies, and they're not above using me to get to him.
Yeah, that must be a lot of pressure on you.
It must be tough on you.
My people place a high value on family and ancestry. There's an unspoken expectation that I'll live up to my father's example. Everyone's waiting for me to do something great on my pilgrimage, something that will forever change our lives for the better. If I don't, it's like I failed, and that reflects badly on both me and my father.
Yeah, what about saving the galaxy? Wouldn't that be a great thing?
The work you're doing here is more important than anything any Quarian's ever done before.
Yes, I know. But you have to understand Quarian culture. We're a very insular society. The events beyond the flotilla don't much matter to the average citizen. Our greatest dream is that one day we'll return to our homeworld and drive out the Geth. But even if we stop Saren, that's not going to happen. There's still millions of Geth behind the veil. Until they're gone, our exile will continue.
So what's the answer then?
What would you need to bring back to make everyone happy?
Something that would help us better understand the Geth. They've changed significantly since the exile. They've continued to evolve. We've done our best to study them, but it's not easy. They're very reclusive. Until recently, they never went beyond the borders of the Veil. And all the Geth we run into now are under Saren's control. We'd need to find Geth operating on their own, independently. But I don't want this to get in the way of our mission, Shepard. First, we stop Saren. Then I'll worry about my own problems.
Alright, yeah, tell me more about your father.
What was your father like?
It wasn't easy growing up as the daughter of one of the Admiralty. Even before he joined the board, he was a prominent figure. People looked to him for leadership. He had to set an example, and he expected the same of his daughter. Plus, he was pretty strict, a military man through and through. He never allowed me to settle for anything less than excellence. As a kid, I sometimes felt like he was pushing me too hard. But now I'm old enough to appreciate what he taught me. The world doesn't owe us anything. If we want something in life, we have to earn it.
And what about your mother?
Where was your mother in all this?
Mother was around, but she always seemed to kind of blend into the background. Almost like she was overshadowed by my father. He tends to do that to people. She passed on about 5 years ago. Some airborne virus that swept through the fleet. Happens sometimes when the filters start to break down. I think my father took it pretty hard. After she was gone, he became even more focused on his work. I think that was his way of dealing with the grief.
And were you too close?
Sounds like a tough upbringing. You don't resent your father at all?
Like I said, it wasn't easy. My father's not the kind of person you bond with, and he wasn't around all that much. Too busy. People counted on him, and he took his duties seriously. Even when he was around, he always seemed a bit distant, like his mind was always somewhere else. Come to think of it, I can't ever remember seeing him smile. Not once. It's like he was always weighed down by all that responsibility. I mean, I know he cares about me, but he never really showed it, not in the usual way. I guess the best thing I can say about my father is that I respect him.
Alright, then let's change topics.
I want to talk about something else.
Like what?
Yeah, I asked all of this already, so I guess
I
that's
should
it.
go.
See you later.
Well, it's nice that my companions are finally starting to tell a little bit more about themselves, but is it just me, or does like half my crew have some sort of daddy issue? I mean, she has some issues with her father, Wrex killed his father. I mean, I guess actually it's more like her grandfather that's the issue. And I think Garrus had some issues with his father as well, because he didn't like the way, you know, he wanted to handle things in CSEC. Well, I suppose Liara doesn't have a father, but if we count that other Asari as her father, quote-unquote, then there is an issue as well, because she kind of left, and Liara doesn't really know about her. So yeah, I don't know if Kaidan has a daddy issue. I think he never really mentioned his father, so... But everyone else, certainly some sort of daddy issue. I see the problem. I see the problem. But yeah, let's see if we can catch up with the other two companions at the upper deck. And then, I don't know, I will have a look for another side quest to do, I suppose. Don't load. Let me move on. Also, I haven't spoken
Yes,
to her in a
Commander?
while.
Is there something you need?
I should go.
Nothing new here.
Goodbye,
so
Commander.
let's just look for Liara.
I get the feeling you want to ask me something, Commander.
Yep, let's talk.
I like talking with you, Liara. No matter what the subject.
Then let us talk about you. Are you okay?
I have nightmares, I do. Well, why do you ask?
What do you mean?
You need to take care of yourself, Commander. The crew relies on you for leadership. It can be a heavy burden.
Oh, I'm sure I can handle it.
I've got broad shoulders.
I have no doubt about that. But can they carry the weight of an entire galaxy? If we don't stop Saren... No, never mind. I'm sorry, Commander. The last thing you need is someone constantly reminding you of how grim things are. Is there anything else you would rather talk about?
Well, apparently not, but thanks for your concern, Liara.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
Okay, that was pretty quick. So, yeah, sure, let's see if Kaidan has something new to say too, and then we'll head back to the bridge.
We haven't had time together since our last chat. A lot was said when we talked.
Yeah, we sort of flirted, I guess.
You seemed decisive then, Lieutenant. Why so hesitant now?
I don't want to distract you too much. The deeper we get into this mess, the bigger it seems. I'm just looking for an ear. The debriefing wasn't the right place to say how ridiculous this is. Seems like every other race in the galaxy is wrapped up in their own problems. They don't want to see what's coming.
Smug aliens will show them. Yeah, I guess you can't really blame them.
Wanting to believe everything will be fine? Sounds like human nature to me.
Yeah, I guess some things carry across species well enough. I should remember that after what happened with Vernus.
Yeah, tell me what happened there.
Don't tell me you and Vernus hugged on graduation day.
Before I met Vernus, I knew as much as any other civilian. Aliens were weird, superior, and tried to tell us what to do. I mean, it's only been 26 years since first contact. That's not a lot of time to understand them. But it was Vernus who made me see how human aliens are. They're not different or special. They're jerks and saints, just like us. Hell, by the time I got payback, I didn't even want it anymore.
So you got payback, huh? So, what happened?
I don't see you snapping very easily. What finally did it?
He hurt Rana. Broke her arm. She reached for a glass of water instead of pulling it biotically. She just wanted a drink without getting a nosebleed, you know? Like an idiot, I stood up. Didn't know what I was gonna do, just something. And Vernus lost it. Beat the crap out of me. Kept shouting how they should have bombed us back to the Stone Age. And that's when the knife came up. A military-issue talon, right in my face. I cut loose. Full biotic kick right in the teeth. Almost as strong as I can manage now. But at 17, that's something.
Well, I guess you were just trying to help Rana, right?
You wanted to help a girl you cared for. That's a noble thing.
Maybe my intentions were noble, but I lost control. I killed him, Shepard. Snapped his neck. They probably could have saved him if they got him to an infirmary quick enough. But they didn't. Caused a stir when they shipped him home. Bot training was shut down. Kinetics folded a couple of years later. That's funny. I'm not sure which of us got the worst of what happened.
Yeah, I say he got what was coming to him.
I wouldn't shed any tears over Vernus.
I'm not upset he's dead. Just sorry I killed him. I wasn't prepared for that. I dropped out of sight for a bit. They let me go. I guess they wanted it to blow over as much as I did. I came back on my terms because I wanted to serve. So, yeah, I hated that Turian, but he wasn't a Turian to me. He was Vernus.
Well, that is a very mature, reasonable attitude. Yeah, I'm glad you think that.
And here I was concerned you were damaged goods.
I've got a few scratches and dents. Hope they just give me character. I don't think we'll be operating without support for much longer. Pretty soon, not even the Council will be able to ignore what's going on. Glad you'll be here when it's over, Shepard. I'm looking forward to some shore leave.
Okay, do you have more personal input?
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
I've wasted enough of your time for now, Commander. We'll have time for personal debriefings later.
Alright, then goodbye.
We'll talk later, Kaidan.
I'd like that.
Well, I'm actually getting some quite interesting stories from my companions on this run, so I'm happy I did that. But yeah, I think I caught up with everyone now, so no, this is going back down. I want to go back to the bridge. Yeah, there isn't really that much time left in this episode, but I think we at least can have a look at what we want to do next. So, yeah, we have a bunch of missions. Maybe I want to do some of the really old missions down here, just to get them out of my quest log. Or I maybe want to do some of these missions that we got on Ferris. Like this one. You found a confidential transmission while on Ferris. It's unclear what's exactly going on, but it appears Exogen sent some kind of sample to a research facility on Nodacrux. Nodacrux is located in the Vostok system of the Maroon Sea cluster. Head there and find out what's going on. Okay, yeah, sure. I suppose we can at least check out that planet and make some headway there. Oh, and we haven't actually looked at these planets yet, have we? No, we have not. So let's do this. Tungal is a massive terrestrial world, nearly twice the size of Earth, with a dense atmosphere of nitrogen and ethane. Its scorching hot surface is mainly composed of iron, with extensive deposits of heavy metals and radioactives. It is a mineralogical treasure trove, and many corporations are lobbying for mining rights. Okay. Mathol. Several attempts to chart Matal have been made, but none have been successful. By normal standards, a small rock planet, Matal has a dense atmosphere composed of carbon dioxide and argon, with a surprising amount of water vapor. Fogs and rain are common on the barren, lifeless surface. Matal is pleasant enough to be considered a terraforming prospect, though its low mass and high radiation of the energetic blue star Herschel place it fairly far down on the list. Okay, yeah, I mean 33 degrees Celsius isn't so bad. And Klobaka. Klobaka is a moderately seized terrestrial world with a hazy hydrocarbon atmosphere. Its surface is mainly composed of chlorides with deposits of solid and liquid form hydrocarbons. Okay, and there's a planet over here, Klugon. Klugon's hydrogen-helium atmosphere is given a fairly dramatic emerald tint by chlorine and ionized gases. It has nearly 100 moons. Okay, and that's all of them? Okay, let's see if there are any asteroids in this belt. Yep. Found something. And another metal-rich asteroid with some platinum. I'll take it. So, I suppose that's all there is to find in here. Okay, and I almost forgot where I'm supposed to go next. Yeah, by the way, someone suggested that I do this mission with the asteroid before starting the next main story. So maybe I'm going to do that in one of the next episodes. I think it was over here, right? Vostok, yes, this is a system we want to check out next. Right, let's have a look at the planets. Klomathu has a reducing atmosphere of methane and nitrogen. The surface is hot and mainly composed of sodium with deposits of uranium. In terms of size and orbit, Klomathu is a virtual twin of Earth, but utterly lacks life. Okay.
Looks like we've got an active distress beacon on the planet below, Commander. No message, just a locator signal.
Okay, this is where we need to go. Nodakrux is a verdant world with abundant water, temperate climate, and thick nitrogen-oxygen atmosphere, and a rich ecosystem. It would seem to be perfect for life. The relatively high percentage of oxygen makes humans feel energized and alive, though it has also allowed insect analogues to grow to frightful sizes. Unfortunately, Nodakrux is a case of almost not quite. Thunderstorms are as common as on Earth, but in Nodakrux's thick, oxygen-rich atmosphere, they are deafening and spark constant wildfires. More damning, however, are the large and ubiquitous tufts of pollen that float in the high-pressure air. In humans and other oxygen-breathing species, they cause severe or lethal allergic reactions. Well, that is very unfortunate. But we're going to land on it anyway. Alright, yeah, I'm not sure. Let's just take those two along. Alright, here we are. And I guess this is where we have to go. But yeah, I think I'm going to do that in the next episode. So I will make my way over to that facility, and that's where we're going to start in the next episode. So thank you for watching, and see you again next time.